Wish you could understand the glorious adventure ahead. Soon we'll both be home.
Taking them back to France? Welcome back, guys. Today we are checking out episode 7 of Star Trek The Next Generation. So last episode was my favourite episode of the series so far. I think a lot of you guys agree with me that it was a pretty solid episode, considering season 1 is weak according to you guys. I'm really excited to see where we go next. Before we get into it, please check out my Patreon. There you can see full movie and TV show reactions with the footage. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it.
Taking aboard delegates from those two worlds, the Anticans and the Sele have become deadly enemies, but both have also applied for admission into our federation, called Parliament, in the hope that...
I find it interesting them wearing those fancy outfits, just longer versions of their normal outfit.
We hope your journey will be pleasant and comfortable.
These guys look cool.
If you'll follow me, I will show you the accommodations that we
can already smell the Anticans. They were taken.
I love their ears. They're like a viper.
Will our quarters be near the Anticans?
about 100 meters apart.
Is that all right?
No. Unsatisfactory.
Are they racist or something?
If you'll follow me.
And we must be upwind from the Anticans.
Of course, sir.
Neither seem like very promising Federation candidates, sir.
Even Parliament's peacemakers may find this case a little difficult.
I never understood that sort of hostility even when I studied Earth history.
Sir, my sensors are picking up an unusual energy object ahead.
On screen.
We're going into a storm?
My sensors read nothing solid, but considerable energy and changing patterns.
I can find no match with anything in our records, sir.
Change course to make a close sensor pass.
Simple, Geordi. Our captain wants his junior officers to learn.
Not just his junior ones.
We're making a close sensor pass on an unusual object, Geordi. Any problems?
Not at all, Lieutenant. All equipment online and function.
No life form readings, sir.
Begin the pass.
It is changing shape.
Oh,
Eight
he's
readings of
reaching out to them. Gee. Oh my god. It shocked me. Bam, 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 bam.
What happened?
I don't know. We got hit by some sensor feedback.
Lonely Among Us.
You got it done. I got it.
Geordi did well there.
Let's get him up.
Okay. Come on, big guy. On your feet.
Are you okay?
He was just monitoring the sensor console.
Is that extra not allowed to speak? Didn't get a speaking credit.
It was a glow. Just for a second,
Could your visor device have malfunctioned?
I doubt it, sir. Seemed like what I was seeing was something real.
Who's that guy?
It's about the dietary requirements of the Antican delegates. Their live animals were beamed aboard. We were going to preserve the meat for them, but they say we must bring it to them alive.
We no longer enslave animals for food purposes.
But we have seen humans eat meat.
Inorganically materialized out of patterns used by our transporters.
They make their own food, like... It's hard to explain, actually. How do you have to explain one of those machines? That was a bad-looking helmet.
It's reading normal now. How did you manage that?
Yes, normal.
I'm just really good at my job.
Both of us. Quite normal now.
Where am I?
Don't you remember? You were in the sensor maintenance room.
What am I doing here?
That's the story the doctor will tell you.
A mystery is only a mystery, as long as it remains uninvestigated, sir.
I love a mystery, Data.
Detective Picard.
Time
On
and
the
tide,
case.
Lieutenant LaForge. Go to Warp 8.
Warp 8, sir.
You're back, Curly.
Yes.
Hello? I was kind of working on that thing.
We're studying Dr. Channing's theory on dilithium crystals.
Tell me about it.
Really? Dr. Channing thinks it's possible to force dilithium...
Or maybe the cloud wants to warp out.
This is engineering, not helm control.
Oh, yes. The helm's located on the bridge.
Yes, of course it is, Mother.
This is the helm.
Unless there have been some changes I don't know about.
You will wish to know Lieutenant Worf is much improved, ready to return to duty.
Can we not have as a rule, if someone seems odd,
Diagnosis
can we just
concerns a bridge.
check them out?
Klingons are so unusual in their reactions, aren't they?
Intriguing, Doctor. What does helm control have to do with medical cross-checks?
Come on, someone pay attention, please.
Why am I...
Is something wrong, Doctor?
Doctor, are you all right?
Yes. I'll do my work in my office. That's where I should be.
Do you want someone to accompany you?
Oh, Picard, you saucy devil.
Engineering to Captain Picard. We have something wrong with warp drive circuitry, sir.
Data, this ship is less than a year out of space dock. What are the chances of this occurring?
It is a virtual impossibility, sir.
So what the hell is going on here?
I must say, what does annoy me is like the obvious things going on. Like, we could all tell there was something wrong with Crusher, and it was not just because I know about it, but like everyone picked up on it and no one said anything about it.
Have you spoken with Chief Engineer Argyle about this problem?
With all the engineering staff, sir. They're just as puzzled.
I want an explanation of this by the time we reach Parliament.
It's really bad to have those guests on board while this is all going down.
These weapons were taken from 2 of your people who were loitering out of sight in the vicinity of the Cele delegation's quarters.
These are not weapons, First Officer. They are tools. Match the animals we consume.
You have to admit that these could kill.
We just wanted to consume those green aliens.
We all have reason to hate the Cele.
They appear to have the same feelings about you, sir.
No matter what their basic function, are being confiscated. Violence will not be tolerated on the Enterprise.
Did you just go...
And if any does occur, let me assure you, it will not be we Antikins who start it.
Thank you, sir.
We will finish it.
Sir, warp power is fading.
It's not good to hear.
Picard to engineering. What is the problem?
3, 2.
I do like how smooth that was.
Subspace radio is out. If the Enterprise were really this fragile, sir, she never would have left space dock, but are the result of the actions of an unknown adversary.
We have a saboteur aboard.
We did go through that mystery cloud, and no one's thinking that's suspicious at all.
Ferengi contacts have been detected on both Soleil and Antica, sir.
Can either of you suggest any other suspects?
You're sounding like a private eye, sir.
Private eye?
A private consulting investigator, Data, who solves crimes.
Most interesting occupation.
In the world of fact, probably not.
Would be interested at the job.
The immortal Sherlock Holmes would have an interesting view of our mystery, I believe.
But I'm afraid we're going to have to find our solution without history's greatest consulting detective.
Or could that be Data? Oh, is Data gonna be like Sherlock Holmes?
If the control network breaks off at this point...
It bleeds warp engine commands off into dead end. But I believe I can handle it from here, Mr. Crusher.
But I don't learn nearly this much in school.
Well, I tend to agree. But the captain's orders on this are very clear.
Wes, you're only an acting ensign. You've got to let the commissioned officers do some of the work.
He's coming for all of their jobs.
Channing's dilithium crystals theory I was telling you about?
When were you telling me about that?
This morning, don't you remember?
Honestly, I don't remember.
What an awful mother. These electric shock jump scares. That was a cool camera angle, though.
Scott? Lieutenant Worf, sir. I just found Mr. Singh. He's dead.
Dead? So who's unconscious? Detective
Stardate 412.
We need you. Solve the case.
I've ordered an immediate investigation into the death of Assistant Chief Engineer Singh.
Well, according to these readings, we could go back to warp speed now. Those aren't the same readings as when I left.
Singh probably repaired it just before he was killed.
He couldn't have repaired it, sir. The problems were inside the engine.
I love how everyone ignores Wesley, even though he's right all the time.
I tolerate these questions, Lieutenant Yar, because I need this vessel to get us to Parliament.
They should. Our delays are your delays. I must ask where you were during this vessel's Earth hours of 1800 last night.
18?
Sir, we're talking about hours here.
I was eating for hours. I do like their design though, it's cool.
Yes, concerning your memory blockout.
I still don't remember having one.
The same thing happened to me.
Almost all of the peace delegates answered our questions with lies.
Imprecise.
What? He's a detective.
We can learn something from non-disclosure.
May I ask, where did he get the pipe from?
Indubitably, my good woman.
My good woman?
Sherlock Holmes. Indubitably, Data has been studying him.
Sherlock Data. That's the title of the video.
Something was afoot.
Afoot?
Our crew locator sensed them passing here and here.
We're still in the dark.
On the contrary, my dear colleague.
Oh my god, he's eating this up.
That they were too engaged in their own affairs to have disabled the ship and murdered the engineer. They would rather kill each other than any of us, my dear Riker. Sir.
I want you to go back in your mind to the moment when you first recall this sensation of memory loss. How do you feel at this moment as you lean over him to take the specimen?
There's someone else who's there. Not alone. Get out of my mind.
That's almost exactly what you said, which confirms the feeling of duality that I sensed earlier in both of them.
Why didn't you report it?
At first, it was the kind of duality that we Beta Zeds feel in all of you. When you approach a decision and ask yourself which direction to go, I believe something invaded them.
It seems the only possible conclusion.
Data. Let's proceed without the pipe.
No, we need it.
That it cannot be a family member or one of the crew.
Yes, very unlikely.
Then our investigation was worthwhile, sir. I am referring to the great...
Everyone's going to laugh.
Whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
Where did you just pull that from?
It just suddenly became all right.
You know, sometimes it's the result that counts, you know? Helm control just went down. She won't respond.
Bridge to Captain. You're needed here immediately. Helm is down, sir. There's no apparent reason.
Captain, we've just dropped to impulse power.
Oh, this is bad.
Are you alright? I thought I just saw...
Oh, he wasn't in the meeting as well, so we wouldn't know.
Everything is fine now.
The helm is suddenly malfunctioning, sir.
Malfunctioning? You're wrong. Look again.
Captain, I was just... Well, there's nothing wrong with it now, sir. Everything is just as it should be.
In that case, make our heading.
He hopped up so happy then.
You have a problem with that heading, Lieutenant?
You want to double back on our course, sir?
Isn't that what I ordered?
How suspicious was Detective Data?
I'm puzzled by you reversing our course.
That energy cloud, Commander. I believe it important we have another look at it. I believe a very important scientific discovery awaits us on this heading.
Perhaps you'd like to share your reasoning on that, sir.
Do you believe a ship captain should explain every order?
Of course not, sir.
I demand to see the captain.
Stop!
What?
Oh no.
Return to your quarters, delegates. A mere change.
What's that guy gonna do to stop him?
Well, that he's closed part of his mind to me. I just feel that the captain has become perhaps dangerous.
If. Then he'd have to be relieved of command, which you could do, Doctor, but it's beaucoup trouble if you're wrong.
He has done nothing to subject the Enterprise to danger.
You could do it without that problem.
Only if all command officers agreed it was vital to do so. But he has not been showing any overt, unusual behavior.
Ultimately, I believe he will.
I'll order medical and psychiatric exams.
Dr. Crusher and I have decided to approach the captain regarding his recent behavior.
Wonder if we'll have anyone else do the logs. Because I know Picard does it, Riker does it, I know Spock does it, Kirk did it. I wonder if anyone else does do it.
I'd like you to come to sickbay for some examinations, Captain.
What can I do for you, number one?
Sir, Counselor Troy has recommended the examination. It is my duty to inform the captain. We believe he may be under some kind of alien influence which may constitute a danger to this ship.
The two of you, and Counselor Troy, and possibly suffering hallucinations. Now, this is an order. You will arrange medical and psychiatric exams, both for yourself and them.
I'm concerned that you've suddenly turned the ship away from its course.
What's happened to your mind, Doctor?
I mean, how was that supposed to go down?
I'm sorry, I really am too busy for this kind of nonsense.
Yeah, you look it.
Do I have to call security force you to report to the sickbay.
What the hell?
What the hell indeed?
Sorry, wrong species.
Sellies are playing hide and seek down here, obviously with the Antikins. It's a lethal game. I want them returned to their quarters under guard.
It'd be a good game to play at like a Star Trek con. You dress up those aliens and play hide and seek.
Here are the results from the exams you ordered, sir. Please. Are you Jean-Luc?
He is here.
Jean-Luc, I know.
And more. We wish you could understand the glorious adventure ahead. Soon we'll both be home.
Taking them back to France?
I'm like convinced that something from this cloud now shares the captain's mind.
We're now approaching the clouds, sir.
Very well, Mr. LaForge. Shall we begin the scientific test you wanted, sir?
Oh, they're already underway.
What if they infect them all?
As many of you suspected, when our ship passed through the edge, it accidentally carried away a sentient being, as if a great claw had reached down and scooped one of you from your home world. Drawn into the energy circuits of this vessel.
Oh, they took one of them by accident.
Pleaded for help, but in ways you couldn't understand.
And then they took off with it, so they basically kidnapped it.
To slow this Enterprise thing that had captured it. And it very much regrets the accidental death of Engineer Singh.
Do you exist in combination with this entity?
Passion for exploration, for the unknown. We found we had similar dreams. Realized them beyond human expectations.
As an energy pattern, free of the limitations of matter, he might travel anywhere, at any velocity. I see no way for you to journey with an energy form.
Isn't there?
Planning to beam himself and the entity into that cloud.
Picard's just gonna be floated in space.
Energy only. And we will become a combined energy pattern of our life forms. A resignation from this command and from Starfleet has been appropriately recorded.
I refuse to allow this, sir.
Captain Picard, you are now relieved of duty. I judge you to be disabled and mentally incapacitated.
It's forced lightning. He's Emperor Palpatine.
Restrain the captain!
Every effort has been made to determine his whereabouts.
The transporter chief has no idea what the coordinates were, sir.
Still no readings. No sign of anything.
It's time to set a course for Parliament. Warp 8.
We're really leaving him.
Commander? Wait, it's the captain. But only.
He's out there, look at him, he's floated.
But the combination wasn't possible out there. He's in trouble, so we have to beam him back.
Beam him back as what? He's nothing but energy now. Bring us in closer, LaForge. Bring us right into the edge of it, LaForge.
Aye, sir.
See a floating Picard out there?
On my sensor controls.
There's something here.
Something crazy on my panel. Status?
P for Picard?
He's in the ship's circuitry. There might be a way, sir.
Can we somehow beam him out of the ship's computer? Or circuitry?
I knew we had to have the captain's physical pattern here, sir. He was the last one to beam out. His energy has moved into the transporter relays by now.
I wish we had some sign that he was in here. I guess we have no choice but to risk it.
Energizing, sir.
We go for that chocolate biscuit. That chocolate Picard-sized biscuit.
The devil am I doing here? What's happening to me, number one? And I remember there was talk of an entity, but it all seems so vague.
Much of what happened is naturally missing.
What are you talking about, Data? Is this still Sherlock Holmes?
Indubitably, sir. Indubitably.
I hope he keeps that
pipe
going forward.
Dr. Crusher has asked me to steer you past sick bay. She said you've been looking very tired.
Security Team 2 reports they've discovered a puddle of blood outside the Cele quarters, and they can't find one of the delegates, and
Lieutenant.
It's good to see you, sir. Hooks has just been asked to borrow a reptile for the Antikins, and it looks like the Cele delegate.
I think I do need a rest. Take charge, number one.
He's like, you deal with all that. Well, guys, that was Star Trek The Next Generation Episode 7, and another solid episode. I really enjoyed that one. I do like the unique, I wouldn't say twist, but the unique story of them brushing against that cloud, and actually one of those bolts went into the ship by accident. It was sucked in, it was drawn into the circuitry or the power of the ship, and then they carried on going, and it was basically like a kidnapping almost for their species or whatever they were. And that was a cool story beat instead of some basic explanation to it where they just bolted onto the ship or whatever. And it was interesting that they were taking control of every character as it went through, and that it was taken over Picard, and everyone on the crew had to come and had that meeting of like, how do we overthrow Picard because he's infected with this alien species, and how do we go about that, and how does that affect everything, and if we get that wrong then we're in deep shit pretty much. I will say the only thing I didn't like about this episode was at the start when it was pretty obvious something was going wrong with people. Dr. Crusher was acting a bit weird, and Picard picked up on that, and especially Data. I thought that was, you know, a little bit poor writing, I would say. We've had that come up in a few episodes, and I wish they could do that differently. You know, if someone's acting up suspicious and there's something going wrong on the ship, then it's probably because of that. Also, big shout out, I did really love Sherlock Data. That was just a fun part of the episode, and it really worked for me, so I really appreciated that. Please let me know what your favorite part of this episode was. I love reading what you guys say in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.